All right, Hans Timsdale here, my guy. Bring you the boxer. How you feeling, brother?
Man, I'm good, man. What's good? Happy Monday, man.
Happy Monday, man. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think you get enough credit for your boxing mind. So, gotta pick it and it was a crazy weekend, man. Um
Yeah, it was a great weekend of boxing.
for sure. Out of all of those fights, before we like kind of pinpoint like the Devin fight and like some of the other fights, what fight kind of surprised you the most and what fighter impressed you the most?
Well, none of the fights surprised me.
Hmm.
I think it was an excellent entertainment of boxing, a lot of talent on that card, which you don't see that these days. The card was stacked. I even liked it, the undercards, the preliminaries was pretty decent. But the main card, I mean, four world championship fights with four high level fighters, as the A1 attractions or the A side. I mean, it just don't get better than that. But the fighter that impressed me most is Bam. Man, I love that dude. That dude is bad, man. That dude is the baddest dude. That dude is bad, man. I believe, man, that dude is bad. I was listening to his story and how he said he didn't want to buy his brother because his brother was pretty good. Franco was pretty good, and how he didn't want to do nothing with boxing and how he just started boxing. But when I guess it's those type that when they do something, they do it to the max. He didn't want to do it, but when he got in it, he put 110% in it. And man, that dude is bad. That dude is ultra talented. I mean, that dude is bad. That dude is good, man. He's very impressive to watch. I love watching the way he go to work. I love his punch selection, and I think he trains hard. I think he's a real true fighter, man. He's striving to be like he said. He want to be mentioned in the name with Crawford's and the rest of them and Usyk's and all these guys. And I think he right there. I would rate him number three, pound for pound right now. I rate him number three, pound for pound, and it's deservingly so. I mean, he was number one guy at 108 pounds. Didn't get the shot, moved up two weights and fought for the title and beat the order. Man, and Bam is most impressive guy to me. I love Bam.
Would you pick Bam over Inoue if they fought? Would you pick Bam?
No, well, no, because I think he's just too small. I think he's too small for in a way. I think he's too small for in a way, and that's just he's just too small. And everybody keep trying to push him up there, but no, I think the fight for Inoue is Nakatani. That's the fight for Inoue is Nakatani, and Bam is just it would have been Nakatani for Bam if see Inoue was I mean Nakatani was in a great position because he could have Bam, then he could have fought, then he could move up and fight Inoue, which is probably the way I would have did. I probably would have tried to pull Bam up, and after he become undisputed champion, I'd have pulled Bam up and then go up there and fight Inoue. Let him get a little older, you know what I mean, and then fight Inoue. But as it is, he's moving up to 22. He's looking at the Inoue fight, which I think is a tremendous fight. And Bam, like I say, he dominated the way he doing. He man, that Bam, he's an attraction. Like I say, I was doing the show with Mill City, and I look at him as the second coming of Salvador Sanchez.
Mm,
Salvador Sanchez, just
that
bad dude. Yeah.
that's some really high praise. Yeah, Bam is different. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the way he go to work on you, I mean, the way he go to work on you, Bam is nasty, man. I got to give him all the credit in the world. I mean, he go to the body, he uses jab, he do this angles. So he give you an impressive. He not just in there boxing and just trying to win, just with a dull. He's entertaining you at the same time with the things that he's doing. His punch selection, the angles, the small little angles that he create. He does it all. I can't take it. I can't say enough about that kid. I would say he's pound for pound number three in the world right now. And really, yeah, they man. If you want to be honest, like I'm saying, Crawford and has a lot more years ahead at the game, so you want to give him number one plus off for everything with that. But as far as the young guys, I would rate him number one. If
Mm.
if the old guard left, which is Usyk, if you want to call Usyk kind of the old guard, uh, you know, he'd be number one out of the new school for sure.
Gotcha. Speaking of the new school, at least a little bit, Devin Haney ain't really technically the new school like that, but I guess kind of sort of he just turned 26, I
Yeah,
believe.
he's a newer school. He's a newer school. Yes, he really is in the last 3 4 years too, for real. He been around, but he's coming to prominence in the last 3 4 years.
How did you
Y'all doing? Can you hear my voice? TV? Oh, my girl. My girl. My baby, you just walking around with your coat? It's like that? Yeah. Well, I want a pork chop. All right. Okay. What's up, honey? I done made it. I done made it to my destination. But I'm gonna give you some. Give me a second. What's up, Danny?
Yeah, yeah, no problem.
Sugar baby, how beautiful. Ah, all right. Pork chop sound fire. Smell fire as hell. All right. All right. Hold on.
Now do you think, man?
Where the light at in this thing? Where the light at in this thing? Where the light at? We ain't got no light in here. Oh, y'all done took the light out of the living room? They took the light out the living room? Ain't no light in the living room. All right. All right. Okay, Hans, let's go.
Gotcha. I mean, okay, there you go. Perfect. All right. So Devin, I mean, he looked great. It's a little bit annoying some of the talk, some of the narrative kind of surrounding the fight. Some people are saying Brian Norman wasn't really that good or whatever. It's a little bit annoying, but how much credit does Devin deserve? And like just what are your overall thoughts on Devin and his performance, man?
I watched it again today. I watched Devin Haney again today, and he did a good job. He just a little bit step ahead of that guy, and he picked his shots. I watched, but I kind of gave old boy maybe 4 rounds for sure. I thought he won the fourth round. Brian Number won the fourth round after he got dropped, or
Yeah.
the third round after he got dropped. I thought he won the fourth and fifth round. For real, I watched it and I thought definitely the next round after he got dropped, he won that round. The fourth round, he won those 2 rounds. I thought he won the first round, and I thought he won some of the later rounds, but Devin Haney won the fight. He controlled everything in the fight pretty much. But Brian Norman was in the fight. He was trying to fight. I was listening to the commentary and they was trying to say that he resigned, that he resigned out the fight. No, he was trying to fight. He was definitely trying to win the fight. He was trying to do best that he could. I never seen him give up. I never seen him lose no hope. He was still trying to land the left hook. They were saying his jab was sometimes he would just paw it out there, and sometimes he would throw it good. He was jabbing to the body here and there, but that's just his style. If you watch him, that's his basic. Them is the basic punches that he throw. The same. Them is the. He don't have no other really uh dimensions to his game. So he did what he could to. But Devin Haney just had too many different things for him and won the fight. But I never thought Brian Norman gave up on the fight. And then they said that they was talking about how he wasn't moving his head a lot. Well, then no, but Devin Haney wasn't moving his head a lot neither. They didn't ever say nothing about that.
Mm.
Uh, but when I seen him, Brian Norman, as the rounds went on, he started to have a little movement in his waist, subtle movement in his waist. So, some of them commentators, they don't really know what they're looking at. They don't know what they're looking at. But
Is
all intents and purposes, Devin Haney won the fight, and it wasn't a bad fight. The sharp punches that he landed was impressive. The quick 1-2s, it got a little ugly in the fight. Like they both was Brian Norman was rushing him, and then he wasn't fighting on the inside. Brian Norman wasn't fighting on the inside. Haney wasn't fighting on the inside neither. And Brian Norman kind of maybe he smothered himself a little bit, but at the same time he was hugging. They both was hugging, and Brian Norman should have roughed him up a little bit in the inside, but he didn't. So Devin Haney won the fight. Shout out to Devin Haney.
is there anybody at 147 where you're just like, that's a 50-50 fight for Devin right there?
Nah. I mean, all the fights are 50-50, but I think Devin is the best fighter at 147. And if I'm him and if I'm pressing the Sheik to put me in undisputed. I was just saying, listen, he been fighting champions and let him keep fighting champions. Because Devin Haney is not impressive to watch for real. But you respect what he does in the ring. You know, he's a winner, and so I think his resume, he's almost like a Tim Duncan. You know, he's a bland fighter, but he wins. You know what I'm saying? And so uh, I would do that. I would try to get the Sheik online to fight. Maybe the Conor Ben fight would be huge because he can like add it to his resume, going over to England and filling up the stadium and things like that. But outside of that, I'll be trying to be undisputed. I'll
Is
be looking for undisputed. Match me with the guys to make me the undisputed welterweight champion.
is a Conor Ben fight a is that the type of fight that you're just like, okay, Conor Ben, I can see Conor kind of pulling that out, or is it just like you just think Devin's gonna end up outboxing him as well?
Yes, Devin just too smart. Devin gonna be hard to beat right now at 47 and everything. Devin just too smart, and he realized, like I say, that he was susceptible to the left hook. Now you ain't gonna be able to hit him with the left hook. You know, you ain't gonna be able to hit him with the left hook. I think his defense is gonna tighten up. You know, his confidence is back, and you know, Devin gonna be hard to beat. Devin's gonna be hard to beat, and he's big. He's stronger now. Devin's gonna be hard to beat.
What do you considering how he looked, and I also think that just the experience on the big stage because Devin's been there so many times. He just looks so cool,
Mm.
calm, relaxed out there. But interestingly enough, before the Bryan fight, Devin had came out and said he had accepted the fight with Boots. Boots wanted it to be at 152 and whatever, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
right? Like, is
yeah.
is that a fight that you look at now? Seeing like that, Devin looks great and whatever, and we all know what Boots is that a fight where you just like, you know what? That's like a 50-50 super fight type of deal right there.
Yeah, but I think maybe 54 might be a big stretch, too much of a stretch for Devin. I
Hmm.
think 47 is perfect fill out weight. I think 47 is perfect fill out weight. And Boots, like I say, he's at 54. They talking about pushing him all the way up to 68 at some point. So I think they missed the boat on that. I think that could have been Boots fighting, which would have been a lot better fight because Boots has a lot more dimension to his game, and it could have been for the world's championship. So it would have, but Boots, for whatever reason, which he hasn't refuted, wanted the man to go to 52, didn't want to defend the title against Devin, and basically turned on the fight with Devin. And also to Devin's credit too, Teofimo turned on the fight with Devin. So Devin had to take what he could get, and he had to take what he could get, and I can't, it is what it is. It worked out in a way that better for Devin because like I say, he got to conquer his demons about the left hook. He got to go with that. And this guy's a hard puncher, considered more of a hard puncher than Ryan Garcia. So it worked out good for Devin, but I mean, the Boost dropped the ball on that. So I think that fight is far gone right now.
In terms of, I know you're saying that he dropped the ball, and that fight probably isn't likely, just like a Shakur fight and a Javante fight. I think Devin is like past those fights pretty much at this point. But is Shakur like not Shakur, but is Devin on Boots' level though? Do you think?
Well, yeah, yes, they got two. Now Boots has a more dynamic style. But definitely, Devin Haney, like I said, he's a smart fighter. Devin Haney smart. He know how to win, and he looked at real jittery at first. It took him a couple of rounds to finally relax and look, because he looked at real jittery. I was watching like, damn, he's looking real jittery at first. But he settled down. I don't know if he put oh boy in his place. I just think he was just a step ahead and smart with him because I was watching that fight. Brian Norman was trying to win that fight, but he just didn't have the wherewithal to get to him. He wasn't listening to his dad, going to him with the double jab to close the space. And then again, all that stuff is easier said than done when you're in there. And Devin was catching him off guard with that jab, flicking that jab from his hip, and that was a power jab. That shit was hard, and so that can mess you up a little bit. But Brian Norman never stopped trying. So I mean, Devin Haney, he just looked sharp. Devin Haney looked good, and shout out to him. I really can't take nothing away from him. He settled in the fight, he won the fight, and nothing else to be said about that.
Let me
And I think he definitely, that's what we were saying about Boots level. Yeah, definitely, man. Boots, listen, like I say, for all that, okay, for all the criticism, Devin Haney has taken the challenges. Boots, for all the praise, does not take in no challenge.
Gotcha. Just want to shift gears real quick to David Benavidez.
Yeah.
My answer for you, I mean, my question for you was gonna be real short and sweet, man. Who the hell gonna beat this dude, man?
I don't know. He is on a right nice wave, but the guys he fighting is inferior. He's fighting inferior competition. I want to see him against Bivol. I want to see him against Better Beef. I want to see him with those type of guys. I think Zerda Ramirez should give him a pretty good fight, and I just want to see him do that. I David Benavidez, he's a warrior in there. He can fight. He gonna fight, and he got some lot of good attributes. He got good hand speed. Of course, he got good power, and he got the wanting to fight the best. But let's see. Let's see. Now I don't know what's going on with B-Ball. Is he still hurt, or how long he gonna be hurt? But Better Be when is Better Be got a fight coming up too, right?
No, he doesn't. He was supposed to be on that card against Dion Nicholson, but
Okay, right.
didn't happen. Yeah, didn't happen.
Okay. He was supposed to be on that card. Okay, wow. So that'd have been straight murder if he'd have been on the card. But
Yeah.
so now let's just go. Now let's go to Better Be then. Better Be, let's go. Better Be is already at a high level. He fought a lot of champions. He ain't getting no younger. Let's fight. Let's make the fight with Better Be.
Does
Let's make the fight with Better Be.
does the Zerto fight make sense? To me, I'm just like, I don't really care for the Zerto fight. But does that make sense to you, man?
Well, listen, first of all, David Benavidez is a big guy. So he's going to be up around a weight where he don't really have to, he can stay more at a comfortable weight for him, more at and this guy is a unified champion, Zerto Ramirez.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a Mexican versus Mexican fight. And it's a unified title fight. And like I said, yeah, he's tall. He's just as tall as David. So that's a good fight. I like Zerto. He's a decent fighter.
Hmm. But
But
is it more interesting than like B-Vol and Better Be?
no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's a Concerto is like a it's not I would say, nah,
Hmm.
no. But because David Benavidez is looked at so high, they putting him somewhere he needs to fight those guys. He needs to fight B-Ball and Better Be, because arguably they fights could have been draws. Either one of them could have been draws. So they only losses to each other. You know what I mean? They long reigning champions. B-Ball was a long reigning champion for years, at WBA. He Better Be was wrecking ball machine, went through some adversity. And, like I say, a lot of people thought he won the fight still, both fights. So you are light heavyweight now. So go ahead and prove at light heavy with the elite guys of that, because Bivol is seen as special and Better Be is seen as special. Zerto's not perceived as special,
Hmm.
and David Benavidez perceived as special. So let's get with the special guys.
Gotcha. What are your whole thoughts on, it's Canelo is saying that he wants the rematch with Crawford. He also said that, there's talks going on right now. I'm not sure if it will be in May or September. How does any of that like come across to you, man?
That's fake news. Canelo ain't said nothing. Nobody heard Canelo. That's just people putting that out there. These internet people just putting up a tag and saying that. Canelo has not said nothing about no rematch. That's just people just making up stuff to talk about.
So I guess in your view, do you think Canelo would want that rematch? I mean, if anything else,
No,
Canelo, when he loses,
no,
he always wants to run
no,
it back, man. You don't think he would run it
no,
back?
no,
Uh,
no.
well, would
I
you?
don't think he. I don't think that like it's not because of his heart, because of his guts. Like he want to do it, but there's no way he can win that fight.
Hmm,
He cannot beat Crawford. He
got
can't beat him. And he was trying. I was watching that fight. He was when Crawford was punching. He was punching when Crawford was punching. He was throwing to the body when Crawford was going to the head. He was trying everything he could, but then he didn't have no answer. And he said that I just didn't have no answer for him. So there's nothing going to change about Crawford, unless he something dramatic happened where he heard something, and it was something like that. But far as a Crawford as full. Who gonna beat him? Nobody can beat him.
Mm. So if nobody can beat Crawford, and he is the
Mm.
pound for pound #1 guy in the world right now, I think a lot of people are
Yes,
expecting.
sir.
I think a lot of people are expecting Janibek to beat Lara. It's a 50-50-ish, probably 60-40 fight in favor of
I
Janibek.
got Lara. I got Lara. Janibek ain't look special in nothing. Janibek ain't look special
But Lara is
against
like
nobody.
Lara like what, 74, 75? Lara a little older, man.
But okay. But listen,
Mhm.
you see, Bernard Hopkins was still doing it at a high level, right? Beating them young guys. Beat Pascal was 30 years old. He was 46 or almost 50. Okay. And then Laura is a boxer. He don't take a lot of punishment. He's a boxer. And you never heard Laura messing up with no drugs or doing nothing like that. And he punching harder. He's sitting down on his punches and he's slick. He don't get hit. So I'm picking Laura to win.
Is that a fight that you think is, I guess I want to say, worthy of a Crawford? Like, do you think the winner of that is worthy of Crawford? Like, do you think either guy did enough to be in there with Crawford?
Well, sometimes it ain't about if you did enough. These guys are the champions, so whoever comes out is almost like they're gonna be the lineal champion, and they will be one belt away from the undisputed championship. So, you know, um, but hopefully, if the only thing I think that would intrigue Crawford is if somebody became undisputed champion, and then Crawford go in there and fight one more fight for undisputed championship.
Um, before I let you go, I just really wanted to know, like, for the past, I want to say like 6 years, Crawford has fought just one time a year, and
Mhm.
that usually does not work out for a lot of guys, man. And guys will always be like, I stay in the gym, I'm not rusty, blah blah blah, and whatever. And then fight night comes and they rusty as hell. Like, how is it that Crawford is able to fight one time a year, have a big fight, not even like tune-up type of guys, and it's just like, it's like this dude he's never rusty. Like, how is he able to kind of do that?
Because Crawford is always in boxing mode. He's always playing something. He's being active. So he's not just sitting around rusting away. He's always shadow boxing or he's always wrestling with somebody or he's always playing basketball. So he's keeping his what I'm saying? If you playing basketball, you keeping all what I'm saying, your alertness up there. You running up and down the court. You bumping. What I'm saying, you're using your physical strength in there, muscling your way to the rim. Like I say, stay shadow boxing, and that's just it. Crawford stayed doing something, so that's just it about Crawford. I think that's what helps him the most.
Gotcha. And actually, my last question for you, Abdullah Mason, that fight
Yeah,
was that was beautiful. That was a
that
beautiful
was a
fight.
good fight.
Yeah.
He showed a lot in that fight, and he proved that he's a real deal.
Is that, in your opinion, like the eventual fight, maybe like 2 years or so from now, Shakur Abdullah Mason? Is that like one of those Spence Crawford type of fights, like just a real mega fight down the line, you think?
It could be. It could be. It could be. It could be because Abdullah Mason's got the height and to probably go up to 140. I don't know what Shakur is going to do right now, but I think the manner was passing towards him. Far as because he's in a weight class in both two, whether he's fighting at 35 or 40, he's in a one of the more premier weight classes, and he's been right there, speculating along, with special talent and greatness and everything like that. So he's going to do that with Tio to try to win the lineal championship against Teofimo, which got a lot of respect in the game. And then let's see how he got how that happens for him after that. I don't know. Maybe Tank might decide to go down there and fight him. Maybe make that fight, But that's the thing for Shakur. I think that Mason is, like you say, a couple little bit away from that, and his fight, I would say Mason's next fight should be against, like I say, they said Kid Austin. Kid
Mm.
Austin, he's been steered around getting close to the championship. And so now, if let's see how that play out. Let's see if they, because like I say, Shakur is on his way going to 140. Don't know if he's going to stay there or not. And this kid has been around. Both been coming up at the same time. Austin and Abdullah Mason. They both been on the trajectory at the same time. So now let's go. I like to see that fight. It's an intriguing fight. But as long as those guys in the game and they're winning, anything is possible. And I think they both be intriguing matches. I think Abdullah Mason, he'll be an intriguing matchup with any of those guys.
Does Abdullah kind of remind you of anybody, man? I mean, a lot of people kind of, well, I'm not gonna say a lot, but some people say kind of reminds them of Crawford. I don't necessarily see that, but it's like, does he kind of remind you of somebody, man?
No, no, and I definitely don't think he remind me of Crawford. No,
Hmm.
I don't think he reminds me of Crawford. But Abdullah Mason can box. He proved that he can fight. He's physically strong to fight on the inside. You can't just push him around. So I'm just looking for Abdullah Mason to keep getting better and better and keep doing what Abdullah Mason do. He might end up fighting Andy Cruz or something like that. Andy Cruz about to fight. Maybe if he win, so it could be something in that range. But I think Abdullah Mason is a special fighter in the sense that he knows his way around the ring and he has an exciting style.
Y-
So I'm looking for, if I would say anybody without the switching, it remind me of Boots.
Mm,
I
okay.
would say if you want to say remind me of somebody, it'd be Boots, because Boots is a fighter. He likes to throw dazzling combinations, and he probably could use his ability to win boring fights or make them boring. But he chooses to mix it up with the guys and go get them. So I think Abdullah Mason is in that same realm.
And actually, before I let you go, because you brought up Andy Cruz, and I'm extremely high on Andy Cruz. I've always been high on him. I do think he'll end up beating Mortalia. Mortalia's a really good fighter, but I do think Andy will win. Just how do you think a fight between Andy Cruz and Abdullah Mason will play out, man? Just how does that go? Who do you favor? Yeah, how does that look, man?
I don't know. I mean, Andy Cruz it seemed like he's coming into his own. He's getting a little better. Let's just see how but Abdullah Mason gonna be tough for anybody.
Hmm,
Abdullah Mason's gonna be tough for anybody. I think Abdullah Mason's gonna be tough for anybody. Yeah, Abdullah Mason's gonna be tough for anybody. That dude, he's only gonna get better and better. He's gonna get better and better.
got you.
I would like to see him keep his right hand up a little bit more, and I like to see him use his right hook a little bit more. I
Hmm,
talked to him and I told him that, but I don't. I think he could use his right hook a little bit more. Southpaws tend to use that left hand a little bit too much. I think he need to use his right hook a little bit more. That'll make him even more, or 10 times more dangerous. Just like you seen with Pacquiao, when they added that right hook, Pacquiao was way more dangerous. So I would like to see him use his right hook a little bit more, but I think Abdullah Mason can hang with the best of them.
Is it a little bit difficult to kind of get a guy that like kind get a guy like Abdullah Mason who looks like a terrific boxer on the outside, but he look like he'll bang with you right in the middle of the ring. Is it kind of
Yeah.
difficult to get him out of that zone and be like, dude, just box, 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 box. You could bang too, but just box. You don't gotta have a difficult night like that.
No, 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 because I think he got the talent to do that. Just like Crawford. Crawford standing fights with you too. Crawford, he gets down and likes to fight too. So I think he has the ability to do that. I think he has the ability to do that. And that's what the people want to see. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's taking too much punches, but when you're inside and you're changing punches, you're going to get hit. That's boxing. So I
Yeah,
think he's coming out fine, and that's what makes for, you know, like I say, the thing that's the knock on Devin Haney. You know, he don't have no inside game. And for that matter, Brian Norman didn't have no inside game, and so it makes for a lackluster fight sometimes. And it's a smart way to win, but it's not always an entertaining way to win. And I think that that's I think that's the way for a fighter, a boxer to go. You have to stand and fight. Sometimes you ain't gonna be able to just stay on the outside and box every time. Sometimes you're gonna have to fight. And so to have that ability is a positive. And I think Abdullah Mason got that as a positive, and it's going to help him throughout his career. And it's like I say, he's a must see fighter.
gotcha, man. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see some of these guys in more big fights down the line, man. But look, I appreciate you jumping on, breaking down the entire card for me, man. That card was epic last weekend, man. I appreciate you tonight,
It,
brother. Thank you.
it was. But you know what? Like I say, another thing too though is watching these guys perform. you know, you don't want to see him in there with like just like guys that's way underneath their level, but they're not going to be fighting in super fights back to back with these guys. So it's good that I would like to see them more on a card, more with each other. You know what I'm saying? On the same card, they don't even have to fight each other, but I think it's exciting to watch that level of talent on the same card. And then mix in between where they're fighting each other. But to watch these guys go to work is a treat in itself.
Yeah, for sure. 100%, man. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, man, like I said, just appreciate you jumping on, and hopefully we can have you on again, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, Hans.
All right.
Later.
Appreciate you.
Later.